Teaching spoken English using the sounds we hear. Lesson 15 of 15. Sounds are the bossy E, ong, shon, shul, shon, ed or d, li. The bossy E. This means that if a word ends in the letter E, then the format of the vowel consonant bossy E makes the E say the letter name, not the letter sound. For example, nice. The N is a consonant, the I is a vowel, the C is a consonant. So the E becomes the bossy E and the word is nice. Price, race, chase, place, make. There are a few exceptions to this. For example, to have, to live, to come, to love, and some others. I'll repeat the words. Nice, price, race, chase, place, make, to have, to live, to come, to love, and some others. Ong. These letters are named O and N and G. When they are together, they sound like ong, as in song, wrong, prong. Song, wrong, prong. These letters are named U and N and G. When they are together, they sound like as in sung, hung, sprung. Sung, hung, sprung. Shon. These letters are named T and I and O and N. When they are together, they sound like shon, as in exception, mention, explanation. Exception, mention, explanation. Shul. These letters are named T and I and A and L. When they are together, they sound like shul, as in partial, initial, spatial. Partial, initial, spatial. Shul. These letters are named C and I and A and L. When they are together, they sound like shul, as in special, social, judicial, official. Special, social, judicial, official. Shon. These letters are named S and I and O and N. When they are together, they sound like shon, as in division, television, Eurovision, conclusion. Division, television, Eurovision, conclusion. Ed or D. These letters are named E and D. When they are together, they sound like D, as in planned, manned. However, If they follow the letter D, then the ED sounds like this: handed, demanded, planned, manned, handed, demanded. Lee. These letters are named L and Y. When they are together, they sound like Lee, as in quickly, fairly, quietly. Quickly, fairly, quietly. Other examples: take, clung, portion, sacrificial, mind, hurriedly. Take, clung, portion, sacrificial, mind, hurriedly. Lake, mung, confidential, confusion, timed, silently. Lake, mung, confidential, confusion, timed, silently. Hate, emotion, residential, intrusion, landed. Hate, emotion, residential, intrusion, landed. Tongs, section, crucial, ironed, sanded. Tongs, section, crucial, ironed, sanded. Sentences using these sounds. He made a concession to the people who were demanding it. He had handed them the wrong song, but now he acknowledged his error and fixed it. On the television that night, they watched in amazement at the special concert. He made a concession to the people who were demanding it. He had handed them the wrong song, but now he acknowledged his error and fixed it. On the television that night, they watched in amazement at the special concert. Close passage. Complete the passage by using the most appropriate word from the word bank below. Make sure it makes sense. Word bank. Intrusion, peace, objected, enough, confusion, information, silently. Intrusion, peace, objected, enough, confusion, information, silently. It was the into his privacy and of mind that he to the most. It was bad having to be a part of the surrounding the, but that did not make it acceptable when they ignored his comments. It was the intrusion into his privacy and peace of mind that he objected to the most. It was bad enough having to be a part of the confusion surrounding the information, but that did not make it acceptable when they silently ignored his comments. Extension work. Read the passage and then answer the questions below. Australia is a very welcoming country for people who are law-abiding. However, some people choose to do the wrong thing, and they will be punished for that. Australia's laws are based on the justice system of common laws which originated in the United Kingdom. Australia is a democracy, and this means that people have the right to vote for their representatives in the federal and state or territory parliaments. It is a system that is based on the principles of liberty and free will. Respect, tolerance, and equity are a part of a democracy, along with the freedom of speech, association, and movement, and freedom of belief. However, there are boundaries which must be adhered to in order to ensure peace and harmony in our society. Questions. Number 1. Australia welcomes people who abide by the laws of this country. What might some of those laws be? Number 2. What happens in Australia if you break the law? Number 3. What are Australia's laws based on? Number 4. What is a democracy? Number 5. What does a tolerant society mean? Pause and practice. Pause, practice saying the sentences that you have composed for your answers. Then check your answers, written answers and listening and saying, with the next slide. Practice this until you are able to say the answers fluently. Answers. Number 1. Some of the laws in Australia relate to stealing other people's property. It is not allowed and will be punished. Other laws relate to a person's rights. Along with rights go responsibilities, and that means upholding the law. Number 2. In Australia, if you break the law, you will be charged and, depending on the crime, go to court and may end up in prison. If you are not an Australian citizen, you may be deported. Number 3, Australia's laws are based on the justice system of common laws from the United Kingdom. Number 4, a democracy means that people have the right to vote for their representatives in the federal and state or territory parliaments. Number 5, being a tolerant society means we allow for difference in individual people and their right to be individual. Conversation topic: the War Memorial in Canberra. The Australian War Memorial in Canberra is a place where the members of the armed forces who have fought for the protection of Australia and its allies are commemorated. It is a national monument. It was built following World War I in 1914 to 1918 to commemorate the soldiers who died. It is a museum and holds many exhibits of battles that Australia has been involved in. Entry is free. Describe a similar place in your country. Have you been to Canberra and visited this memorial? Maybe you could plan a trip there.